Today we're going to upgrade the headlights on the minivan. As you can see, they're pretty dull looking. I'm going to have to polish them later because I don't have the materials to polish them. But I'm going to upgrade them and put some LED lights in them, such as this one, and the LED strips. And we have a couple LED rings as well. Angel eyes, I guess you'd call them, or halos. Like these guys. So, first step is we have to take a heat gun and we have to pull this headlight apart. We have to heat it up to heat the glue so that we can disassemble it, so we can separate it. So that's what we'll get started on now. Alright, so I'm just heating this up with a heat gun. It takes quite a bit of heat because you have to find a fine balance between heating the glue and melting the headlight. Obviously you don't want to melt the headlight. So I'm just going to heat it up here. I've been doing this for about 5 minutes now. Get it nice and hot, and then we're going to try to open it up. Some people like putting it in the oven to do that, but I don't like that idea because then the whole thing is going to be hot, and handling it at that point is going to be very difficult and not enjoyable at all. So all I want to do is ease it little by little. You can't rush this, or you will certainly break something. So you just have to work it slowly, work through the glue, try to get it to separate, try to get it to pull, and it's going to take a very long time at the beginning to get any kind of progress out of it. And then at one point you're going to get to where it just wants to come apart. Very rewarding at the end, but it's very frustrating at the beginning. As you can see, I'm not making a whole lot of progress here. A little separation there. This is the case with any headlight. They all come apart pretty much the same way. The good thing is, when you want to put it back together, you can reuse the glue that's in the light. There's enough in there generally that you can just put the light back together, heat it up as you go, and just squeeze it back together as the heat warms the glue up and liquefies it. It's kind of like tar. It's very sticky, very gooey, and it doesn't like to let go. But we've got 1/8 of an inch open so far. Now we're going to pour more heat to it. Heat back up again. A little more out of it. Now that it's open a little bit, the heat can get inside to the glue better too. You're not just heating all the plastic. It's a very slow and tedious process. And like I said, you don't want to rush this part. Maybe buy new headlights. So I'm just using a pry tool. I'm sticking it in, turning it sideways, listening for any unusual noises. cracking sounds. Don't want that. It does take quite a bit of persuasion, we'll say, to get it open up. Romy's operating the camera today. It's nice having someone to operate the camera so I can actually concentrate on working rather than trying to position the camera all the time to get it in place so people can see what I'm doing. In the future I can make much better videos than what I've made in the past because I can show my work better with a camera lady. It's really difficult when you're trying to operate a camera and do the work at the same time. Makes it very challenging. There's a lot of glue in here. I can see it through the plastic. Just trying to get it heated up so I can get it to start moving. There we go. Get some movement now. Some. Get up to the top side, heat that up. It's a lot easier to put it back together than it is to take it apart. I had a shop that I used to do headlight conversions in and do this kind of stuff. And this is always the most challenging part of doing it. I did custom projectors and halos and angel eyes and stuff like that. Just for something to do. I sold auto accessories, and so I just did that as a bonus thing, I guess, to make a little extra income. Installing HIDs. Back when HIDs were popular. Not anymore. Now it's all LED. But at that time, the HID technology was not very good, or the LED technology was not very good. And the lights were not bright, and they burned out really easy because they generated too much heat. I'm actually going to do an LED headlight conversion on this afterwards, but I'm waiting for the LEDs in the mail right now. Things don't come as fast in this country as they do in Canada. I'm used to Amazon Prime, where everything is next day. Here it's whenever they want to bring it to you. And then when you do get the item, a lot of the time you're missing parts of it, or it's defective, or there's some kind of problem, and so then you have to wait to get that resolved, send it back again. As you see, I'm getting there. very slowly. Maybe we should turn a light on, that might help. Now we're getting a lot more movement out of this. We're almost there. It's very hot. Trying to get a little more heat into it. The more heat you can get in to release the glue, the better. There we go. Take good movement now. And I stuck my arm in the glue, which I'm going to regret that because it's icky. Okay, so we got this side pretty much pried up. We haven't worked on the other side at all. So I'm going to have to get some heat into that, start getting it separated. Don't worry, you have lots of time before the action, so if you want to go make some popcorn, take a bathroom break, whatever, you can do that right now, because nothing exciting is going to happen in the next 2 minutes. This is not a fast process. Sure is hot on the iron. Doesn't help that the temperature here right now is about 32 degrees. But it's better than Canada's weather right now. I heard it snowed last night. I don't miss that at all. Here we go. Come on, baby. She wants to come. Something's still holding it pretty strong here. Definitely in this section. How did I get that stuck in my pants? There we go. Okay, so we have a lot of resistance right here still. Heat right there. I don't like the thought of overheating it, so I always try to do the bare minimum of what I need to make it work. I don't want to melt it. At the same time, I want it to come apart today. There we go, a lot less resistance now. That's just wanting to come. Success. Okay, we got that broke open. We're gonna just heat up this end a little bit more, just to get it to pop out of here because it's kind of a funny shape in here. Bend or twist anything. I just want it to come out nicely. Does not want to come out nice. There we go. Ta-da! There's our headlight lens disconnected. As you can see how nice and clean this is inside. That's why we're going to polish the lens when we're done all of this. Alright, so I'm going to do some preparation here and we'll come back when I figure out how the lights are going to go in. So I'm just mixing up some epoxy now. As you can see, I've got the lights in. Can you show them the lights, please? Get the lights in place where I want to put them. And so I'm just going to attempt to epoxy them in. This might be trickier than I thought. I'm trying to do it without leaving a big wad of epoxy on the light itself. And that's what I didn't want to do. Didn't want to make a mess, but I did. I'd rather use clear epoxy or clear goop would be ultimate. But I haven't seen goop in this country, nor do I think I'm going to be able to acquire it anywhere. Nope. So I gotta make do with what I've got. And I have this epoxy, so that's what I'm using. So just work on one light at a time, try to get it solidified in. Makes another batch of epoxy for the other light afterwards. try to do too much at once, we'll just make a big mess. So I learned about body filling a long time ago. I don't mix a lot of body fill and try to body fill the whole car at once because it just ends up in disaster and you end up wasting a whole bunch of filler because you can't possibly put it on as quick as it dries. This is 5-minute epoxy, so it really doesn't last very long. It's pretty much dry already. Alright, so I'm going to get this other one glued in next. All I did was I just drilled a hole in the lens for the wire to go in. You can see there. I just drilled a hole in the lens for the wire to go into, and the wire comes out the back. So I can then connect it after we're done here. And then I took out the marker light that was in here, which I don't know where it is right now. It was just a regular marker light bulb. And I replaced it with this LED strip, which is blue. I don't want to tell you all the colors because it'll ruin the surprise, so you'll just have to wait until the end to see what the end result is. We've got multiple colors happening here, and hopefully it'll look good with them all together. So I'm going to continue on. The next thing I'm going to do is take a light strip like this here, and I'm going to line it around this light here. I'm going to drill a little hole in it for the wire to go out through, and then just do a half circle with it. So just like we took it apart, we're going to put it back together. We're going to heat this glue up, squish this back together. I'm going to show the seam here. Show up here. Piece. So we have a big gap here now. And so we need to heat this up. Start pushing it back together again. See the glue melting as I do this. Just gotta work it back together. That. Down. Into the whole thing. And slowly work it back together the way we took it apart. Sorry for the lighting, but it's getting dark. We don't have much light in here. We're making do with what we have. nice and warm, and then I can just smush it back together. It takes almost as long to put it together as it does to take it apart. Gotta ease it down. If you look down in here, this part right here, I can sink it down in here like that. This has little clips on it. When you get to the point where it wants to clip in, then you know that you're there. And as a bonus, once you get the clips done up, get this clip here. Once you get the clips done up, then you know that it won't come apart again on you. There's no clip on the top here. I'm almost there. There, I'm done. Now we're going to test the light out. In a second here, we'll set it up to test it out. And we'll put it in the van, and then we'll show you the results. There's the lights all done. It's really hard to see them from in front of the van because they just kind of go solid. But that's just the halos working right now. And then we'll turn them on for you in a second. So now we'll turn the parking lights on. And then we'll turn the headlights on. And that's the full effect of it. Can we go to low beam? Perfect. So that's what it looks like driving down the road. Post in the comments, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know what you think. If you want to take on a project like this yourself, it's not really that difficult. These are just rings that I ordered off the internet. Actually, the green rings and the white rings that are on the inside, I already had those, and the blue ones on the outside are just light strips, and the lights that I'm using for fog lights probably look very familiar if you're familiar with my videos, because I use the same exact lights in the Super Bee. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.